Hey gang, it's Paul with Stud Pack. Welcome back to our channel. Joe and I are back here today at one of our main current projects. All the demo is done. We're super excited about that. We had a little bit of framing to do. That's done, but we're even more excited to get this thing going again and get it finished for the homeowner. And check it out. We've got the kitchen sink here. We got an email that the vanities are on a truck. They'll be delivered here this week. And in 2 days, the electricians are gonna be here to start the rough wiring, so we gotta get ready for them. And we get a lot of comments from homeowners about the electrical phase of a project. Questions like, what can I do and what can't I do? The electrical part kind of intimidates a lot of people, and rightfully so. And like we say, you should always hire a professional. However, there are a few simple and safe things you can do at your house before the electrician gets there to save yourself a ton of money and to save them a lot of frustration. Have you ever seen a frustrated electrician? It is not a pretty sight. So congratulations, you got your family together, or you called up a bunch of the buds that owed you a favor, you got them a 6-pack of Red Bull, you got all the demolition tools out, and you did the demo, you got it down to the sticks. So what's your next step? You gotta call the electrician, right?
Right.
Wrong. Are you ready for the electrician?
What do you mean ready?
Dude, come on. Does this place look like it's ready for the next guy to come in here?
What do you mean?
All right, so I'm an electrician. I just arrived at your job site. What do I see? Well, there's some 2x4s with nails sticking out of them. That's pretty nice. And there's trash all over the floor. I guess I gotta work over that all day long. But here I am. I see a bunch of cables hanging from the wall. Well, let's see what these do. All right, this switch does nothing. I'll have to figure that out. What is this cable right here? It's wire nutted off, but is it hot or not? What is this? I guess it's for the oven from the previous kitchen, but that goes away. I know it from the picture she sent me that the oven gets moved. Here's another one. I guess it was for the old cooktop. What the heck is this old dimmer doing up here? Okay, so now I know it does the dining room light. It was probably in this old wall and they just stuck it up there for me, so I gotta move that. So I've already got a lot of unanswered questions. Which ones of these are hot, which ones are not? But to make it safe for me, I gotta figure out where the panel is. Now, is it buried in the back of a closet and I gotta move all the shoes and the clothes and the luggage? Or, like on this house, maybe it's outside in the storage room. I gotta find a key. After 40 minutes on the phone with the owner and digging around in the backyard, I finally find that hidden key underneath the turtle back by the fountain. So now I got the key, I'm in the storage shed. Now I gotta move the mower, all the gas cans, and 8 bags of fertilizer just to get to the panel. So now that I've got access to the panel, I open the door, and guess what? Nothing is labeled. Typical, right? Just like most of the houses in America. So after an hour of back and forth, hunting and pecking with my little circuit siren, I finally figure out what turns off what, so the job site is now safe. So I come back in the house, in the kitchen, in your remodel area, and I gotta figure out where to put all the boxes. Now the homeowner sent me a couple of pictures off of Pinterest that she'd like to do. So I'm gonna have to guess. Do I need one here for the oven? Does it need to go on this side or this side? How high does it need to go? What about the microwave? What about the hood? Where does all those things go? Where's the refrigerator and the dishwasher? Is there a disposal? Do I need to switch for that? All those questions I gotta figure out. And we haven't even touched on the lighting that we have to do. So now it's already lunchtime. Half the day's gone and I hadn't even started putting in boxes. So I lay out all my boxes. I look down at my watch. It's 2:30. I know I gotta make a phone call that I don't wanna make to my boss and tell him, hey, remember that emergency job that came up that you wanted me on tomorrow? I gotta come back here and finish because I got an inspection the day after tomorrow. So now that I've hung up the phone with my boss, now he's mad at me. I mount all my boxes in the best place I think they can go, to the best of my knowledge, right? Based on those little pictures I got and the drawing I got on that napkin from the homeowner. Now it's time to pack up and go home. So I head home knowing I gotta come back the next day, get in that attic, and run cables all the way from here all the way to the back. Who knows how much drywall I have to cut, how much insulation is in my way. Does the owner have all kind of stuff stored in the attic that I gotta move without putting my foot through the drywall? So I come back the next day and all I gotta do is pull cables. So I go in the attic and I'm back and forth, pulling cables all by myself. Try not to fall through the attic, but at least it's cool up there because it is November here in Louisiana. So by the time the end of the day rolls around, I'm all done. Everything's ready to go for that next inspection and I am beat. So now it's the end of the day, I'm all done, and the owners can call in for their rough electrical inspection tomorrow. But look gang, that's how it is sometimes with these jobs. And I'm exhausted from talking, I know you're exhausted from listening to me, and can you imagine how the electrician feels? You know he's wiped out. So the reason for talking about all that, that's what you don't want to happen. What you do want to happen is you want to make it safe for your electrician. When he gets to the job site, he should be able to know exactly what turns this off, exactly what turns this switch box off, exactly which 2 breakers turn off this 12-3. And we did a whole video on how to label an electrical panel board, and we're going to link that down below for you so you can do your own house and make it very safe for you and your electrician. And the second thing that electrician struggled with was box locations. He's not sure where to put them. It's really a guess. Imagine how nice it would be if he showed up and they were already mounted on the studs. You'd blow his mind. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Where to mount all your boxes for a typical kitchen remodel. Let's get started. So before we start setting boxes, we got to know a couple of things. The first thing we got to know is, what does the National Electric Code say about all those box locations in a kitchen? Well, it says a lot. You can do your homework online, you can find out some information, and you can do a pretty good job of placing all your boxes. Now, this video is not in depth about all those different locations, islands, peninsulas, etc. But just get together with the electrician if you have any questions, and he can help you decide, do I need one here or do I need one there? Now, let's take this little section of cabinets right here. This is the edge of the sink. This is the edge of the refrigerator. This is less than 4 feet. So the code says I just need one in the middle because any cord is going to be less than 2 feet to that plug. If I have something over here, the cord's going to reach. If I have something over here, the cord is going to reach. But I don't have a stud here. I could put one there, but I think what I'd rather do is put a double gang box here. I'm going to have the switch for the disposal and then a receptacle, and then I'll put another one here. So I can have a plug here and I have a plug here. 2 to me on this wall is better than 1. So let's go into the sink. I got to have a receptacle for the dishwasher and a receptacle for our disposal. And now over here, we're going to come out and we're going to turn and have a peninsula. Now this box location is actually okay, but I'm going to swap this out for another one for a couple of reasons, and we're going to show you that in a little bit. And then I've got a peninsula right here, and the NEC wants you to have plugs on the end. So if you put a blender here, you can plug it in here, and you're not stringing an extension cord all the way over there. Now let's head to this side of the kitchen. I know I've got a wall microwave right here. So I need a box here for a dedicated circuit for that microwave. And see these bits of tape right here? That's the counter between this wall cabinet and my range. So I gotta have a receptacle here. I'm gonna have a gas range. So I need a receptacle in the back to plug it in for the controls and the igniters. We're gonna have a hood mounted above, so I need a whip or something for the hood. If your microwave is over the range, you need a dedicated circuit for the microwave. And we usually put that in the cabinet above the microwave. Headed to my left, we got another little bit of counter, so I need a receptacle here. And this is just going to be a pantry, so I'm good to go. So let's head out to the truck and start putting these boxes in. So we're going to start with our countertop receptacles, kitchen appliance circuits number 1 and number 2. Now how high do they need to be? Kitchen counters, typically 36 inches, right? Right here. And typically an 18-inch high backsplash, and that would be right here, and this is where my upper cabinets start. So I've got 18 inches between the top of my counter and the bottom of my uppers. And that receptacle can go anywhere in between there. We chose 44 inches for the center of our boxes, and that's what that mark is here. Let's head over to our laser and we're going to set that up. We have a Bosch GLL 100G line laser. It's a cross line laser actually. We use it all the time. Any line laser will work, and if you don't have a laser, you just have to pull out the old level or maybe even go to the dark ages and use a water level. I forgot the mount for my Bosch pole here, but most lasers come with a magnetic mount, so we're just going to use this refrigerator, and that's going to work perfect for us. So let me turn it on. I'm going to turn off the vertical beam just to save the battery, and I can see my mark over here. I'm just going to raise this up and down until I'm on my mark. Okay gang, we've got our laser beam projected all the way around the room. This is going to be very easy. This is the type of box I like to use. It's an adjustable depth box this way. I like the blue ones. They've been kind of hard to find lately. I had to use the gray ones from Lowe's, but this screw is out here and it's a real pain to adjust it once it's covered with drywall. So I went to 3 places to find the blue ones. Here's our laser line. That's the middle of our box, and that screw is in the middle of the box. It's got a couple of teeth here. Just hook it on the back of that stud and work it down so the laser beam is right in the middle of that screw. Now this is one of the only times you'll ever see me use drywall screws other than drywall, but that's what I use to attach the box to the stud. Makes it nice and flat and it won't leave a bulge in the drywall. So let's mount this box and we'll do all the rest. We get a lot of comments about these adjustable depth boxes. A lot of people have never seen them, but check this out. Once it's all in, you've got drywall here, you've got tile, whatever it is. Just by moving that screw, you can put the face of this anywhere you want. It's all I use in kitchens, and I use them a lot of other places too. All right, let's put this one all those, and then we'll start setting boxes for all the appliances. So what do you do when you're trying to put a box right here where you have 2 or more studs and these prongs won't fit in there? Pretty simple. I'm just going to break that off because I really don't need it. Just grab your linemans back and forth, and now I can basically flush mount that. I've got those broken off. I'm ready to go. Alright gang, we're done. That only took a few minutes. The laser makes it very easy. If you don't have a line laser, you got to get one. We'll try to put a link for that one or a similar one in the description below. Now let's take a look at this circuit right here. Circuit 13A. We labeled it during our electrical survey. It fed the electrical receptacles on this side of the kitchen. Small kitchen appliance circuit number 1. Let's call it that. My tester that we used indicated that it had an open ground. Not good for any receptacle, but especially in the kitchen. So let's check it out with my meter here. This is a Fluke T5 600. Love this thing. Let's go between the neutral and the hot. I got 120 volts, right there. 125. Now I'm going to leave that on the hot. Let's go to ground. I should also have 125, and I don't. I've got like 35. So I have a bad ground. Let me get that 35 back there for you. There we go. 35 volts. So I have a bad ground. And I can confirm that by switching to continuity. And I should have continuity between the neutral and the ground because they should be connected at the panel. But as you can see, I don't. You get an audible tone and the display is not reading what it should. Now we could try to hunt down that broken ground, but this old thin ground wire could be broken inside this jacket somewhere. So I'm just going to have them pull a new cable. It's easy and it's much better. Now let's head across the kitchen and talk about this one to the left-hand side of the window. During our electrical survey, we found out that this receptacle and this one under this window in the dinette, and there's one over here, are all on circuit 20. Now this one is a kitchen small appliance circuit. It cannot share a circuit with the rest of the house, with this dinette. It needs to be on its own. So my electricians are going to come over here in the morning. They're going to pull a new cable from this box up into the attic and tie it into circuit 20 in a junction box. Then we'll have a brand new 12-2 coming over. We're going to feed this one first. I'll tell you why in a minute. Then they'll come feed this one. A new box here for a receptacle over here. And then they're going to leave a whip hanging out of the wall. And that whip is going to be for some receptacles on the end of the peninsula, also required by code. So I'm just going to put one of our blue adjustable boxes here on the left-hand side. That'll be a reminder to me and the electricians that we got some work to do right here. So let's put that one up. We're done in the kitchen, and we're going to walk you in the back of the house and show you what we did back there to get ready for the electricians in the living room, in the dining room, and both bathrooms. All right, that one's all ready. Now check it out over here, guys. Electricians will probably get here 8:30. I say within 15 minutes, the little apprentice, whoever he is, he's going to hop up here and we're ready to go. He's going to grab these two. These get deleted, and I hate leaving old cables in the walls and in the ceilings. So as he's working his way back to the panel in the attic, he's got to go there anyway, so we might as well pull these out. He'll pull any staples that are in these two cables, and he's going to work his way back to the panel. By the time he gets there, we're going to have 3 or 4 12-2s ready for him to go. So as he comes back out of the attic, he's pulling those with him. One trip in the attic, he's done his demo and he's pulled his new cables. That's what we're talking about, guys. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make it easy for the electricians, so we're not paying them for hours and hours of being in the attic. Now that we've finished in the kitchen and we start cutting drywall out in the storage room, let's show you some other areas of the house that we've gotten ready for them and show you how we did it. All right, we're here in the living room. When we did our electrical survey, we've got a 3-way switch over there. The corresponding 3-way on this side, we weren't sure what they did. Well, they actually turn on both receptacles. It's not a half hot. In other words, one half is switched and the other one's hot all the time. The whole thing is switched. Both of them on this wall. Now this is the switch that's being fed 120 volts. 2 travelers are coming over. We're not going to go into a lot of detail about 3-ways, but 2 travelers coming over and then it's feeding the receptacles from here. We want to turn that into lights. This room is so dark, isn't it, Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, I've got to turn up the exposure on this sucker. There we go.
Yep. So we're going to have beautiful LED lights in here, and it's going to be for these existing three-way switches. Of course, not these switches. We're going to update them, but you get the point. So let's come around here, and we're going to show you how we rewire this. We did it from this side because the other side is the paneling that's going to stay. See that good old 1970s paneling right there? So here's our 12-3, our travelers coming from the other three-way switch. Here's our 12-2, and I've already cut this open. See, I got it right there. Here it is right here, and it's feeding the box on the other side of this wall. I can see it. So what we're going to do, we're going to get rid of this, and in order to feed those two, we're just going to tie into this one. It's going to be fine. So that powers all the receptacles all the time, and now what we have to do is run a switch leg from here to the attic for our new lights. So it's all ready for them. As you can see, they can easily get all their work done, and it won't take them any time to do that. Now let's head over to this side and I'll show you what we did over here. This is the exterior wall of the house. There are no receptacles on the front. And we all need receptacles, right? Lawn work, everything's electric now, or especially decorations.
Christmas lights, baby.
That's right. So we're gonna put a receptacle on the front of the porch, and we're simply gonna tie into this one so they can mount their box, drill through the brick, and run their cable right to here. Very easy. Now let's head back to the bathrooms, and that's the last area that we're going to show you. And I think we're ready for the electrician's guy. Now this bathroom is fed by one 15-amp circuit, and so is the master bath. We're not going to show you that one, just like this one. One 15-amp circuit coming in. It feeds the lone receptacle, and it feeds the lights and the old heater. So we're going to pull a new 20-amp circuit over here, and also to the other bathroom. The 20-amp circuit will feed the switch box. From there, we're going to feed the heat vent and the LED lights in the ceiling, and we're going to dedicate the 15-amp circuit to the ground fault. This one meets code. We just need one for one sink, but my wife, aka the designer, wants another one on this side, because you know how much stuff girls like to plug in, right?
Right.
So that'll be very easy in here. I'll probably change this box out so it's a little bigger. These old Bakelite boxes don't leave you much room for like dimmer switches and ground faults. So we'll take care of that in this bathroom and in the other one. And I think we're ready, man.
Cool.
Oh, dude, there's one more thing we got to do. I almost forgot. When the electricians get here tomorrow, they got to crawl in the attic across this carport all the way to the panel. And that's no big deal. But we got a hip roof here. It's going to be really tight trying to get cables from that attic space down to the panel. So why don't we get up here? We're going to cut them a nice access point. So the guy down here can fish his cables up, and the guy in the attic can grab them and pull to the house. I can see the joists. You see the nails right here? Let's just cut probably, what, 16 by 32. We'll cut a panel there, an opening. We'll remove the cover, and we'll cut one here. We'll be ready to go. All right, gang, we got it laid out. Now, I pulled it this way to me, away from this outside corner of the house, just to give the electrician a little more room. And I'm going to use my buzz saw. I would never use like a reciprocating saw right here. Because remember, we got all the power for the house coming up out of that panel, going right above us into the house. So we don't want to take any risk of cutting the wires. They are laying on top of the joist, but I want to minimize any risk, and I'm going to use the buzz saw. Jordan's got the vacuum. Let's get it done. Go ahead and pull these two nails. This is early 1970s, no drywall screws yet. Here we go.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Oh. That's not awesome.
Nope. Little roach droppings or whatever. All right, guys, you can see what tight quarters it is right here. Here's our hip rafter. There's no way anybody could ever crawl in here to get these cables in. That's why we're doing this. I think the best shot the electrician has, he's going to be able to get to about this wall right here. Then we have to work the cables over these rafters and down into here. So after seeing this, we got this guy right here. I think I'm just going to continue this all the way to the corner, and we're going to cut this open. Be ready to go. All right, guys, I'm super excited. We are ready for the electricians bright and early tomorrow morning. I can't wait to get this thing roughed in. Then the plumbers here will have a little bit of an inspection, then get some drywall up and see some big changes. So we hope this helps you out on your own project. And if you're an electrician, definitely get down in the comments below and give us some of your own tips, your own tricks, and maybe some comments about what homeowners can do to help you guys out when you show up at their job site. One thing we didn't talk about was pets. That's a big issue sometimes. Somebody's got a dog. As soon as you open the front door, they're all the way down the street. Now you're trying to find that thing before the owner gets home. Right?
Yeah, we want to hear some stories.
That's right. So if you like the video, get out your laser level. Make sure your like button's super level, right in line with everything else. Smash it for us. Like we said, give us some tips and tricks down in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you after our inspection.